Welcome here, 2025 NXL Midwest Open. It's the 3 versus 3 here, the third stop on the tour, and Infamous playing the New Orleans Hurricanes. Matty Marshall alongside Mike Jeffrey here on center court. Thursday, the battle going down here in this 3-on-3 championship. We're in the losers bracket right now, so it's do or die time in this double elimination tournament. Who's it going to be, Infamous or the Hurricanes? Mike, who do you got in this one?
I got Infamous here. I think they got some good experience. I think they got some good legs on their team. In three-man, if someone's not shooting at you, you often have opportunities to get up and run. I like seeing Sam Silberg do plenty of that here against the Hurricanes.
Mobility at a premium, being able to launch on big moves, and on the break, it looks like up the middle, Infamous taking some ground. Guys taking big bites with those two less guns out there as the Hurricanes taking ground, topside snake, and all the way up into snake 3 here. Pretty quick, actually calling that the snake Rito here, Mike.
Yeah, snake Rito for the Hurricanes. Sam Silberg in that center snake wedge thing for Infamous, keeping him in check. And now Rob Velez progressing on that bottom side snake for Infamous.
Yeah, I saw Rob Velez was very clocked in here, getting ready for this match, trying to cross it up crossfield after taking some positions into snake 2. So yeah, that Dorito side, the top side and the bottom side, depending on which side, blue side or red side, it's kind of tough in those Doritos. Hearing the practice sessions, we're seeing most of the offense, especially when it gets to 5-on-5, are going to be up the middle and on that snake side.
Yeah, speaking of which, Rob Velez now moving into that snake Rito. No one immediately in front of him.
Mike, he might have clipped him crossfield, maybe coming off the bunker, but shots dialed in here early as they're trying to do zone control. Not able to do it as the Hurricanes going to dip out wide, back corner bunker. Low side Dorito.
Almost caught Velez there, but Velez able to pick it up, and they kill the snake Rito. So now 3-on-2 advantage. Infamous moving forward, clustered.
And looks like they're going to shoot in that body here. So it's a 3-on-1 here currently in favor of Infamous in point number 1, trying to find this last body in the back corner, and it looks like he's going to get tapped out. So a perfect first one here for Infamous. Early aggression with Silberg up the middle to that 40-yard line brick, and then taking ground with Velez, getting into that snake 3, that snake Rito.
Yeah, nice job by Velez there, developing patiently. He kept the comms up, protected his body, calling money for the last body there to make sure they handle business in that 3-on-1. No long-ish point for a 3-on-3. Right?
Yeah, this morning, tons of quick ones out here as guys are just flying all over the field. I think it is going to slow down as we get a little bit deeper into this tournament. Players, you know, it's 3-on-3, and these guys have deep rosters, but going to get a little bit more fatigued, and it is going to start counting a little bit more as we get close to that prize purse. But it is a long day before we get there. But yes, it has been playing pretty quick out here. And now first point Tampa Bay Damage and Chicago. Aftershock is Damage going to be starting from the blue side. And Shock from the red side. Shock going to crawl up here into the snake, and Connor Kelly getting early nice position up to the wedge.
Yeah, fairly interesting breakout by Todd Martinez there up to the South Electronics cannon forward, and now A-Rod feeling no pressure, filtering all the way into that snake Rito, coming even further. So A-Rod Damage just all looking to that Dorito side. A-Rod uncontested onto their side of the field. It's Chris Shear and Jason Edwards both having to contend with A-Rod, who just felt no pressure and took a big bite.
Yeah, that's A-Rod's stock and trade. Got to put pressure on Alex Rodriguez, or he is going to make you pay and take ground, get that crucial real estate. So the guns are shifting here towards A-Rod, and that's going to allow Aftershock to try to make moves up on that Dorito side, but getting peeled off of there. Looks like Corey Hall going to be taking the walk.
Yeah, quite a bad death by Corey Hall there. A-Rod put all this pressure on Damage, and then he took too big of a bite going forward. However, Jacob Edwards dies, so now it's a 2-on-2. A-Rod coming forward now. He and Shear battling heads up. Now coming inside, trying to shoot Jason Edwards in the pack.
A-Rod does give Shear the wire, though, as A-Rod's going to be focusing on Edwards in that back center. I think it was Jason who got that kill on Corey Hall. I think as his gun was shifting back and forth, that was a huge kill to make this one interesting here. Connor Kelly is still posted up at the brick at the 40-yard line, but it is looking tough here if they can't put a ball on Alex Rodriguez for Damage. And somehow, some way, Jason makes the move out to the South Electronics can. Have no idea. He just timed it perfectly. I have no idea how A-Rod didn't get a shot in on him, and then he's going to get the shot in on A-Rod. Beautiful job by Edwards.
Awesome job by Edwards. He came over the top and just put enough pressure on A-Rod to free up the move to get to that South Electronics can, and then shoots him cross field to make it a 2-on-1 for damage. Jason Edwards, he's been making moves like that for decades out here, doing it here in the 3-man.
Oh, man, just absolutely perfect timing, Mike, and really helping his team out, and they get that kill on A-Rod. So early on, it was looking rough for Tampa Bay Damage, stuck in the pocket, stuck in those back bunkers, but Edwards, I believe, with the kill on Corey Hall, turned it into a 3-on-2 in favor of Damage, with A-Rod still the thorn in their side here, but now it's just Connor Kelly by himself.
I really like that retreat by Connor Kelly into that corner. Tried to get lost, gave himself an opportunity to look over the top. However, Jason Edwards just too much. I believe that's a confirmed 3-pack for Jason Edwards. You know, a lot of players, when they make that fill to the South Electronics can, it looks like desperation, almost like they're throwing their bodies away. Not Jason Edwards. He made sure he was gun dominant, created his own window, and then moved with precision into that bunker.
Well, and Mike, with A-Rod all the way on their side, he was in their D2, and he had basically gave Chris Shear the wire so he could focus on trying to get the inside kill on Jason, so he was looking that way, but Edwards just timed it so perfectly that when, and not like A-Rod even had to load, but as soon as A-Rod went in for a beat, he made the fill out, barely made it in. A-Rod came back out to establish the lane. Just a beautiful move from Edwards. That was the big difference maker.
Classic Damage, never dying easy, and now Infamous with a 1-point lead. Hurricanes, though, going immediately to that brick. They do lose a body, though. Infamous with Silberg also in that center brick.
Yeah, I think it's Bell coming off here for the Hurricanes. Is Stu Ridgel up the middle. Infamous also with the body up there, too. Here comes a fill out wide. And makes it in clean here for Infamous.
Yeah, that was Trevor Reeser.
Yeah, Reeser. And here comes a move with Silberg, going to run through. He gets the shot in on Stu, and he stays alive and leaves Camp, who actually gets smoked as well, too. So Sam Silberg now the difference maker here for Infamous to stack up a little bit on this score. So there's no mercy rule here in the 3-man format, and 7 minutes on the clock here, Mike.
Yeah, so still a long way to go with 4 minutes and 35 seconds left. Unlike 5-man, 5-man, there's so much more paint in the air that things can get locked down a little bit more. 3-man, just a little bit more fluid. 15-second, 20-second points aren't rare in the same way they are in 5-man, so 4 minutes and 30 seconds, still a long way to go.
Yeah, I saw some comebacks out here this morning and some really close battles, so hoping we get some more of that here as we get deeper into this.
What is the purse out here for first prize?
I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe it's $4 grand.
$4 grand, not bad. Not a bad way to start the weekend. And we're limited paint out here. 4 pods is the limit, as we're about to see Marcelo Margot with Tampa Bay Damage, his new team, Maddie.
Yeah, Marcelo Margot making his debut with Tampa Bay Damage, moving over from Impact this last event, and going to be playing this point right here
with CJ Cantor and Chris Shear. Looking at Trent Nitta, Connor Kelly, and Ryan Hoskinson.
Cantor all the way up to the middle, gets matched up here. Chicago Aftershock taking that same spot with Nitta. And then here comes Cantor. Cantor's going to come through and trade out with Nitta. Tries to stay alive in the Hearst can. Maybe he got bounced. I think he's asking for a check, but they do lose Marcelo Margot behind him. Uncharacteristic death out of the backfield here from Marcelo Margot. Turns it into a 2-on-2, and somehow CJ Cantor is still alive.
Oh, and he kills Ryan Hoskinson as well. So CJ Cantor just real squirrely and tough in there. Connor Kelly again, the last body for Aftershock.
Yeah, might have caught a bouncer, pretty close bouncer. It is a little humid out here as a lot of guys getting in super late last night, including myself and Mike with all the storms here in the Midwest.
But the weather forecast is looking good now that we're down here on the ground playing paintball. This beautiful grass, perhaps the best grounds we've seen in some time, Maddie.
Yeah, a decent amount of the league working on about 3 hours of sleep, though, for this 3-on-3.
And with a whole new tournament starting tomorrow, but right now in this 3-man losers bracket showdown, in both these sets, the loser is eliminated. Tampa Bay Damage up 2-0. Just 3 minutes and 18 left in this one.
Yeah, nice individual performances here in these first couple points for Tampa Bay Damage with CJ Cantor getting the drop in that run through and stayed alive in that. Again, might have caught a bouncer, couldn't quite tell. Maybe just got missed, but he played it safe. He asked for a check and lived through some heat.
Great job by CJ playing with awareness, figuring out I don't know if he got the comms that there was someone in front of him or heard the gun, but came through at just the right time. And to bunker that guy out and stay alive really swings the advantage in Damage's favor.
Hurricanes now on the blue side with Infamous on the red side. And Infamous with a 2-point lead to protect. They are going to be losing a body out of the backfield. Trevor Reese are going to be taking the walk.
Oh, but Hurricanes also lose one out of the back center. So I believe it's a 2-on-2. It's Rob Velez and Nathan Abul Hassan.
No, there's 2 bodies coming off for the Hurricanes. So just 1 body left alive for the Hurricanes in the snake structure, top side.
Yeah, they're going to let them roll a little bit. Low bodies, win 1 gun battle, and it changes the whole situation. Don't hear a lot of concessions out here in 3-man. A 1-on-3, not great odds, but 1-on-2, down to roll the dice a little bit. Not going to work out for him, though. Rob Velez playing great out here for Infamous.
Yeah, Rob Velez taking some ground early, seeing constantly players running up to that about 45-yard line brick in the middle of the field. It's a pretty safe run here, especially in 3-man.
Yep. Almost a hometown event for a lot of these Midwest guys. Rob Velez, Nathan Abul Hassan, some of the guys from Arsenal taking a nice little 6-hour Midwestern drive. Not the worst out here.
As a Californian, it's a piece of cake, 6 hours.
When I drive 6 hours in the Northeast, I feel like I've left the planet.
Well, you have a lot more people up there.
Yeah, it's dense.
To drive through like 400 towns if you're driving 6 hours.
Yep.
So 2-point lead here for Damage. Shock needs to wake up. Again, we're in the losers bracket. This 3-man tournament will be ending for Shock if they can't answer the call here. It needs to start right now for them.
It's Trent, A-Rod, and Corey Hall against Marcelo and the Edwards brothers.
A-Rod doing a little stutter step to get through Marcelo Margot's lane. And then Nita going to release up the middle, so a little bit more of a defensive posture here again for Tampa Bay. Staying 3 bodies in the pocket. South Electronics Cam back center and the D-side Aztec.
Trent in that center brick. Marcelo dedicated to keeping Corey Hall short on that Dorito side. Trent looking for something to shoot, looking for something to kill.
Oh, and Trent getting shot cross field as they did not see Edwards dip in, but A-Rod's back into their D2 again, but this time not able to live there for very long. Might have traded out with Marcelo Margot, though, so it turns it into a 2-on-1 here in favor of Tampa Bay Damage with the Edwards brothers. And is that?
It's Corey Hall against the Edwards brothers.
Corey Hall.
1-on-2. Corey Hall has to go for it here. Tries to get the drop on Jacob. Not going to happen.
Yeah, Corey Hall trying to run and catch Jacob sleeping, but Jacob, spidey senses tingling, put his gun on that sideline, knew he just needed to trade with his brother Jason alive.
Nicely done there by Damage. Hanging tough. Aftershock bringing the offense to him, but Damage, classic, that dirty South D.
Yeah, I don't know how many times I've said the bend don't break moment here for Tampa Bay Damage is they thrive in this situation. They can play fast too, but once you give them a lead, good luck.
Yeah, they gun battle like maniacs. They make their shots count.
Well, it's just coming down to a couple deaths here or there for Aftershock. Again, you're in a 3-on-3 situation. As soon as one body drops, it puts you at a drastic disadvantage, especially when you're chasing points. And just a couple deaths here or there in these first 3 have with almost no bad deaths for Tampa Bay.
In this one, Maddie, Infamous up 3 on the New Orleans Hurricanes. 3-man, you also have opportunities to take some deep runs off the break. There's only 3 guns out there. There's likely going to be only 1 gun shooting one side of the field. If you get past that first gun, you can be off to the races here.
Yeah, and if they're going to run 2,
right,
then
might only be 2 guns, one to each side.
Yeah, and if you're running a gun and he's running a gun and everyone, and these guys train and they're really good at running and gunning, but you're going to be substantially less accurate in that tactical situation. So 10 seconds to go here. Hurricanes, just like Shock, need to get it going right now to avoid being eliminated here in this tournament. So on the breakout right now, Infamous going to extend over D side and get to that back corner bunker and makes it alive. And then on a delay, launches Reeser up the middle. But here comes the aggressive push from the Hurricanes on the D side this time.
Rob Velez has it figured out. He's calling R Cobra. Unable to generate a kill are the Hurricanes so far from that spot. However, he comes across and stitches up Reeser in the pack. And then he also kills Nathan Abul Hassan. So just Rob Velez in the corner. Great job by the Hurricanes to take ground.
Well, I like that play call too. to push the D side, which is, at least from all the intel we got from the practice sessions, the slower side of the field. But we were just talking about, hey man, it's 3-man, so you can roll dice a little bit more on offensive moves in a 3-man situation, and it really worked out for the Hurricanes there on that one.
Caught a quick 3-pack right there, Maddie, to cut the deficit to 2 with 3 minutes left. Plenty of time to work with if you're the New Orleans Hurricanes. Keep their chances alive, trying to move out of this loser's bracket. Meanwhile, if you're Aftershock, against damage, down 3. I think it's just about 2:15 left on the clock here, so expect to see Ryan Hoskinson take some ground off the break. Perhaps Connor Kelly also taking some ground off the break.
Yeah, spinning Corey Hall again. Was the last player left alive. Lots of offensive options here on the roster for Chicago Aftershock.
Yeah, and with another tournament starting tomorrow, it makes sense to try to get these guys looks on this pro field. Shooting those guns, seeing the lanes, get some good intel.
Well, Shock needs it. They're getting off to a slow start, 2025. So on the breakout, Shock on the blue side, Tampa Bay on the red side trying to protect this lead. Corey Hall going a little bit too high up that middle, and he gets smoked. Puts him in a tough situation here again. 2 minutes on the clock, and this is the point. 2:08 to go here, Mike. 2-on-3 situation favoring Tampa Bay, but looks like body coming off. CJ Cantor taking the walks. Now 2-on-2 in the field spread here. Chicago Aftershock still signs of life, Mike.
Yeah, great job by Ryan Hoskinson there to kill CJ Cantor on the inside and even the body count. He's in that snake Rito. Connor Kelly looks like he wants to make a move forward on the Dorito side. Hoskinson always playing with aggression. Jason Edwards and Chris Shear just trying to figure out the situation, stay alive. He called 22, meaning a 2-on-2.
And burn some time. You have a 3-point lead. There's only a minute 33 seconds left. It's a 2-on-2. And they literally could just stay in this cross. And even if they give up this point, if they can burn another 30 seconds or so, it's going to put Aftershock in a must attack quick situation. They do clip out Edwards out of that back center as Jason takes a walk, leaving just Shear, who's got a pretty good angle. Oh, he's going to switch off. That's going to allow Connor Kelly. Connor Kelly's going to get a head check. He's using the wedge to block him out. Shear moves up.
Yeah, Shear's so crafty here, moving into that mini Dorito, trying to get lost. And it just makes it harder for Kelly to come forward.
And it burns time. I mean, Connor really had to kind of push the issue here a little bit quick, and now he's going to get the kill on Hosky as Hosky goes eyes to the sky in frustration. Might be it here for Shock is with the death of Hosky, because Connor just doesn't have a lot of time to work with. He really has to put Chris Shear in and just hope that Shear engages him. Shear should just look and try to contain that buzzer.
Yeah, Shear basically just won the match right there by being tough to kill and connecting on Hoskinson, making it a 1-on-1. Connor Kelly trying to send it, trying to hit that buzzer, but it's just 30 seconds left, down 3. Chris Shear turned a 2-on-1 that could have been over quickly. Oh, and he kills Connor Kelly. Awesome job, Chris Shear, putting the nail in the coffin of that Chicago Aftershock, sealing a 4-point victory for Tampa Bay Damage.
Yeah, shutout victory here for Tampa Bay Damage. Looked amazing. So solid individual performances out here with CJ Cantor, Jason Edwards, and Chris Shear really stepping up here for the squad.
Yeah, really nicely done there. Shear winning a 1-on-2 against Connor Kelly and Ryan Hoskinson. He's been around the league for a while.
And he was in a not a great spot. I mean, back corner bunker on the D side. Yeah, it's a bit of a fortress. You're not really going to get eyes, though, because you have to just tuck in. But he played it so crafty, and I loved that attack.
Yes.
Attacking when down bodies sometimes plays off perfect. And, you know, Connor using the wedge to block him out, just had to edge on that wedge, put him in, and then hit the deck and crawl across. Yeah, you might get clipped in the pack, but you're down 3. There's only about a minute and 35 seconds left at that point in time. Beautiful job by Chris Shear. 2-point spread now. Hurricane signs of life in that last one. Stu Ridgel's going to run all the way up. Big commitment all the way into their snake. They don't know he's there. They do now, though.
Silberg.
Yeah, Sam Silberg kept his head on a swivel, and it looks like Camp's going to be taking the walk, too, as Infamous flying down that top side, and that should do it.
Yeah, Silberg just having his head on a swivel there. Really aggressive play call by the Hurricanes, trying to get to Infamous's end, but matched up the middle and then just sees him crawling forward, puts a couple in his back.
And with no mercy rule, Hurricanes chasing 3, more time to go in this one with quicker points. We could see a decent, I mean, if Infamous keeps doing this, it could run the score up quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely. Still plenty of time to go if you're
Yeah.
the Hurricanes for the comeback
For sure,
as well.
but he might as well just go for it, right? I like that play call. The problem was Silberg kept his head on a swivel because if he goes up there with Stu hitting the deck and crawling all the way up, you're basically hoping that your opponents, that Infamous wasn't going to send a body up into that brick.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the tricky thing about three-man is even up points, you can take some ground there. There's just less paint in the air. You're not so worried about, oh, we're going to lose this guy up the middle. Are they going to key up on him? And it takes away the offense for the Hurricanes.
If you're making that move for the Hurricanes with Ridgel, you're either hoping, one, they don't send that body to the brick, or he goes up there and gets tunnel visioned outside wide.
Exactly.
But Silberg didn't do that. As soon as he got in there, he was a little bit posted up off that brick, kept that head on a swivel, saw Stu and was like, yeah, what are you doing, bud?
Quick little back massage.
Yeah, so, yeah, Infamous is looking pretty good here. Again, in the loser's bracket, so must-win situation for these teams, and a decent amount of this tournament to go, with 18 of the 20 pro teams deciding to play this 3-on-3 championship. Here at the Midwest Open, they're going to spin Sam again with Reeser and, is that Nathan?
Yeah, Abul Hassan and Silberg. Silberg, steady dose out here for Infamous. Letting Rob Velez take a rest. He's been playing well for him, but now no split deck. We're in pure three-man X-ball. And let's see if the Hurricanes can develop some offense here. Looks like they want to run to the outside. Bottom snake. Nope, going to hold up short, go heavy guns. Both teams matched up in the back three bunkers. Hurricanes, though, filtering out into that Dorito corner quickly. Looking to get an early kill, unable to generate it. Advantage Infamous there with a 3-point lead and only 2 minutes and 40 seconds left, Matty.
Yeah, this one could go a little bit long. If you're Infamous, you just want to burn time. You have a big cushion, big 3-point spread, 2.5 minutes on the clock. Get to some good spots, don't lose gunfights. Unfortunately, they are going to be losing Trevor Reeser out of that D-side Aztec, but they have the field spread.
Yeah, great fill out by Nathan Abul Hassan when he saw that Reeser died to get outside. And I like the move forward by Sam Silberg. Infamous still pressing down a body. They're not freaking out. It's just a 2-on-3. Hurricanes now developing into those red side Doritos and into the snake Rito. They don't look like they know where the bodies are. And that's what's great about moving forward. If you're Infamous down a body, you get lost out here. Slows down the attack for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, coming across now onto Infamous's side, as it looks like Nathan's going to get Silberg gets pulled out.
Yeah, just Nathan Abul Hassan, but he gets shot, so the Hurricane's going to put one on the board here. That's huge.
Yeah, he just said we need the time. So 2-point spread, minute and 34. Definitely not in the bag yet here for Infamous. Early death cost him. Great execution on the offense, though, for the Hurricanes. Big opportunity for him.
Yeah, that changes the whole dynamic here. This is not 5-man where you're looking at you need a minute per point to play it honest. With only 3 guns out here, you can take some serious ground off the break. You make it. You can generate some real offense quickly.
Yeah, solid work by Hodges out there here for the Hurricanes. It's kind of good. There's been so many changes in the rosters this season to play an event like this, because you got your roster, deep roster, throw some different guys out there, get them vibing together before the big tournament starts tomorrow.
Yeah, I know he was only the last body left alive, but Nathan Abul Hassan coming over after Blast Camp sort of dissolved and getting some spins by Travis Lemansky on Infamous. A chance to prove yourself with refs on the field against top competition in this 3-man tournament. I like 3-man, Maddie. I think it's fun. It's fluid. Get to make some big moves out here. You see a lot more one-on-ones.
I like 3-man on full-size fields like this.
Yeah.
Because we did a 3-man event back in the day.
Oh, my God.
And that was just straight carnage. I mean, carnage is fun to watch, but I like seeing these big dynamic moves with 3 bodies on a full-size field like this.
This, to me, is a little bit more like speed chess, whereas the 5-on-5 is like full clock chess.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good way to put it. So 2-point spread here, 23 seconds to go.
Maddie, do these players qualify for coins out here in 3-man?
Ari was asked that today. I got to check my stock.
I wouldn't count it personally.
Yeah, there's a bit of an argument. you know, the argument for getting a coin courtesy of Coin Duel and Hormesis is that you're beating pros.
Yeah,
It's a pro tournament for money,
sure.
so same pressure. So on the breakout now, as aggressive play call here, pushing hot and heavy on that snake side for the Hurricanes and getting a safety valve up here with Bell, and everyone makes it alive, so they have a chance.
Yeah, Nathan Abul Hassan gets shot as well. No guns were looking to the snake side for Infamous, so uncontested was Daniel Camp, and now Drew Bell, Rigel coming through the middle. So 3-on-2, a minute left.
Yeah, I was going to say he needs to hit the deck. They're going to get that kill out of the backfield as Trevor Reese are going to be taking the walks to. Rigel's going to get a good angle. He should just wrap around from the other side to increase that angle. And they are going to lose Camp, though, on that side. Rigel with the big bite across. He makes it clean. They don't know he's there.
Wow, Sam Silberg just hanging tough right now in that corner bunker.
But he's about to get dunked on here.
Oh,
no, minor penalty assessed here on Bell. Was Rigel even alive? I don't think so. Under a minute, no. I don't think there was there a body to pull? Because it looked like Rigel might have traded out with Silberg.
I think Silberg lived, Matty. I don't think Silberg ever got shot there.
He's doing a dance. He looks happy. We've seen some guys, now Chris Shear and in this set a little while ago with Sam Silberg, guys balling out from that back corner bunker on the Dorito side.
It's wide, it's low, you can switch between sides, you can move forward there a little bit. It's a perfect safety valve bunker on the more defensive side of the field. Sam Silberg hanging tough there, not giving up in the low body situation.
I love that. You know, I coach divisional teams, shout out to Moral Enemy and Alliance out on the West Coast. Always preaching how important it is to stay mentally focused and composed and be tenacious in low body situations. Don't care what the numbers are. You need to believe 100% you still have a chance to win that point. And we've seen that now from Chris Shear and Sam Silberg. Beautiful job. That's pro level, perfect performance out there in a low body moment.
Yeah, you do see people in those situations sometimes just hanging a little loose, thinking the point's over instead of doing everything possible to suck in, put a shot on someone, turn the tide.
Or make a big move that's unexpected. Of course, you got to stay alive to do that. But yeah, just love seeing that. It's so crucial if you want to win paintball tournaments. And now puts the Hurricanes in a tough spot. They got a bit of a gift, Infamous getting a bit of a gift. That minor penalty assessed brings it back to a 3-point spread, which pretty much makes this
curtains.
Curtains here for the Hurricanes. Going to be packing their bags, getting ready for the big tournament tomorrow.
Yeah, and they got to take the lesson there, right? Sloppy close there changes the situation from down 1 with 30 seconds left to down 3, Maddie.
Yeah, it's tough when you're it's being able to read and react in real time to figure out. You know, we saw this in that shock match as well too, where A-Rod's all the way up here, getting multiple guns shot his way. You have to, as his teammate, you have to identify. Okay, he's in a really good spot. He's taking a ton of pressure off me. Let me safely now. I got to get in the game and make that move up the field. So Rigel's all the way on their side, and he's the one kind of taking that pressure off. That's when everyone else has got to take advantage of that.
1 minute left to go. 3-point lead. 1 minute till the point. I think it's about 30 seconds left on the game time.
Yeah, I think it was like
here.
35 ish.
Little opportunity to do a little run and gun practice.
Yeah, and it looks like they will be starting down a body. Unfortunate here. Going to send Hodges back out here with, who's that? Williamson going to get a spin.
2 on 3 off the break. I mean, I think you just run and shoot these guys. Send them real far.
I agree.
Try to draw a major penalty.
Either that or you have to go. I mean, what's your option is to run fast. If you're the Hurricanes, you either run far and fast and hope you run through the lanes, or you go heavy guns, hope you get a quick kill.
Right.
And then even it up. But the problem is they're chasing 3.
There is a
34,
third option,
35 seconds. 35 seconds is 10-second points. Good luck.
There's a third option where you shoot a guy and then you try to bait him into shooting you and scream for a major.
For a second, I thought you were going to say shoot him from the grandstand.
Jeremy Salm, shout out.
So on the breakout, they decide to run into the guns and take some ground. Problem is the time, as looks like Hodges is going to be coming off. And Williamson also getting shot as well, too. Infamous does not need this point. Spread is meaningless here as we are in a bracketed tournament here. Takes it down to 2. Runs the score up a little touch here. Final score going to be 6-2 in favor of Infamous.
They look good, Infamous, in this 3-on-3 format.
They did, and damage looked really good as well, too.
That'll be it for the New Orleans Hurricanes and Chicago Aftershock.
Yeah,
going home.
That is going to do it. So I think it's going to be Diesel taking on Dynasty next, and I'm not sure who else is in that set. And I believe Tauntauns, and not sure who Tauntauns are playing. So still a lot more paintball coming at you here. Pro 3 vs 3 here at the Midwest Open. I'm Matty Marshall with Mike Jeffries. We'll be right back.